Hello, dear viewers. Today we're embarking on a journey of wisdom that can completely change the way you view aging. If you want to live comfortably until you're 80, there are 8 attitudes you must avoid at all costs. And pay close attention, because the 5th one can literally transform your life. Before we dive into this ocean of knowledge, allow me to share an old Chinese proverb that says, "At 60, we should listen with wisdom, and at 70, live with freedom without crossing boundaries." These words carry centuries of observation and experience, reminding us that old age can be a phase of profound freedom and fulfillment, as long as we know how to navigate its waters with prudence. But why is this topic so crucial? Well, we live in an era where life expectancy is increasing, but quality of life doesn't always keep up with this growth. Many of us reach 60, 70, or 80 years, old, carrying unnecessary emotional baggage, harmful habits, and worries that undermine our peace and well-being. That's why today we're going to uncover 8 powerful secrets based on ancestral wisdom and proven by the experience of countless generations. These are the behaviors that, if avoided, can ensure that your golden years are truly golden, filled with tranquility, respect, and satisfaction. Prepare yourself for a journey of self-knowledge and transformation. By the end of this video, you'll have in your hands the necessary tools to cultivate a fulfilling and comfortable old age. So, take a deep breath, open your mind, and let's start unraveling the secrets to a long and happy life. Don't be excessively kind, 400 words. Our first secret might seem counterintuitive at first glance, but it's fundamental to preserving your peace and energy in your senior years. Don't be excessively kind. Now, don't misunderstand me. Kindness is a wonderful virtue, but when taken to the extreme, it can become a dangerous trap. Let me tell you the story of Old Tom, an American sage who lived to be 102 years old. When asked about the secret to his longevity, he replied, "I learned to say no without guilt." Old Tom discovered that by trying to please everyone and saying yes to every request, he was actually diminishing his own quality of life. But why does this happen? As we age, our physical and emotional energy becomes an even more precious resource. Every yes we give is an investment of this limited resource. When we're excessively kind, we run the risk of exhausting ourselves, both physically and emotionally. Moreover, unfortunately, there are people who might take advantage of the generosity of the elderly, whether it's financial issues, constant favors, or excessive emotional demands. Kindness in excess can make us easy targets for those with less noble intentions. So, how can we find the balance? The key lies in establishing healthy boundaries. This doesn't mean becoming a cold or insensitive person, but rather learning to prioritize your own well-being. Here are some strategies. Practice saying no in a gentle but firm manner. Before committing to something, ask yourself, will this drain my energy or bring me satisfaction? Remember that taking care of yourself isn't selfishness, it's self-preservation. Cultivate reciprocal relationships where there's a balance between giving and receiving. Remember Old Tom's words, true kindness begins with self-care. By preserving your energy and well-being, you'll have more to offer to those who truly matter in your life. Therefore, the next time you feel pressured to do something that goes beyond your capabilities or desires, stop and reflect. Is this excessively kind attitude really contributing to your quality of life, or is it just draining your precious energy? Wisdom lies in finding the balance between generosity and self-care. Don't be excessively optimistic, 400 words. Our second secret might sound a bit pessimistic at first, but it's crucial for a peaceful old age. Avoid being excessively optimistic. Now, don't get me wrong, optimism is a wonderful quality that can bring joy and hope to our lives. However, when taken to the extreme, especially in our senior years, it can leave us vulnerable to disappointments and even emotional exploitation. Imagine the following situation. Sarah, a 70-year-old lady, always saw the best in people. Her exaggerated optimism led her to blindly trust a nephew who promised to multiply her savings in guaranteed investments. The result? Sarah lost a significant part of her retirement savings. This example illustrates how excessive optimism can make us easy targets, especially when it comes to family members or close acquaintances. In our senior years, it's common to become more emotionally vulnerable, and the desire to believe in the best can blind us to less pleasant realities. But how can we find the balance between healthy optimism and necessary prudence? Here are some strategies. Cultivate realistic optimism. Maintain a positive attitude, but always anchored in reality. Before making important decisions, especially financial ones, consult reliable and impartial sources. Learn to recognize warning signs in relationships. Even with family members, practice the art of gentle questioning rather than accepting everything at face value. An old American saying goes, "The optimist sees the opportunity in every danger. The pessimist sees the danger in every opportunity." Our goal is to find the middle ground, being able to see opportunities without ignoring potential risks. It's important to emphasize that we're not advocating for a cynical or negative view of life, far from it. What we seek is a healthy balance between hope and caution. This balance allows us to fully enjoy our golden years while keeping ourselves protected from possible disappointments or exploitation. Remember, being cautious doesn't mean stopping believing in good. It simply means that you value your peace and well-being enough to look at situations from all angles before committing. Therefore, the next time you feel inclined to accept something without question, just because it seems too good to be true, stop and reflect. Is your optimism serving as a magnifying glass for opportunities or as a blindfold to risks? Wisdom lies in keeping your eyes open and your heart hopeful, but always with your feet firmly planted on the ground of reality. Don't worry too much about socialization. 400 words. Our third secret might seem to go against everything we've heard about the importance of socialization in our senior years, but it's fundamental for a peaceful old age. Don't worry too much about socialization. This doesn't mean we should isolate ourselves completely, but rather that the quality of our social interactions is much more important than the quantity. As we age, it's common to feel social pressure to always be surrounded by people, participating in activities, and maintaining a busy social agenda. However, this frantic search for companionship can actually be counterproductive and drain our energies. Consider the case of Bob, a 75-year-old gentleman who, after retiring, found himself alone and decided to fill his days with as many social activities as possible. He signed up for various clubs, attended all community events, and said yes to every invitation he received. At first, Bob felt energized, but over time he realized he was more exhausted than happy. Many of these interactions were superficial and didn't bring true satisfaction. Ancient wisdom teaches us that in old age, we should be selective with our friendships and social interactions. An American proverb says, "It's better to have one true friend than 100 acquaintances." This is a valuable lesson for our golden years. So, how can we approach socialization in a wiser and more satisfying way? Here are some strategies. Prioritize quality over quantity. Focus on cultivating deep and meaningful relationships rather than collecting superficial contacts. Learn to appreciate solitude. Solitude can be an opportunity for self-reflection and personal growth. Choose activities that truly interest you. Participate in groups or events that align with your passions and values. Establish clear boundaries. Don't be afraid to refuse invitations to events that don't bring you true joy. It's important to remember that each person has a different social budget. Some feel energized with lots of interaction, while others prefer quieter, solitary moments. There's no one-size-fits-all formula that works for everyone. The secret lies in finding the balance that works for you. This might mean having a smaller circle of close friends, or spending more time in solitary activities that bring you peace and satisfaction. Remember, true connection isn't measured by the number of people around you, but by the depth and authenticity of the relationships you cultivate. By focusing on the quality of your social interactions, you'll be investing in relationships that truly enrich your life, bringing more joy and less stress to your golden years. Don't neglect saving money. 400 words. Our fourth secret touches on a subject that many prefer to avoid, but which is absolutely crucial for a peaceful and comfortable old age. Don't neglect saving money. Ancient wisdom teaches us that financial prudence in youth and middle age translates into tranquility and respect in old age. An old American saying goes, "If you want to know the value of money, try borrowing some." This maxim gains even more relevance when we reach our senior years. Financial independence is not just a matter of material comfort, but also of dignity and autonomy. Consider the story of Mrs. Johnson, a lady who always lived in the present moment, without worrying much about the future. When she reached 70, she realized that her retirement barely covered her basic needs. She found herself forced to depend financially on her children, a situation that profoundly affected her self-esteem and family dynamics. But how can we cultivate healthy financial habits that will benefit us in old age? Here are some strategies. Start early. The earlier you start saving, even if it's a little, the greater the long-term impact. Live below your means. Resist the temptation to spend everything you earn. Moderation in the present translates into abundance in the future. Diversify your savings. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Consider different forms of investment. Educate yourself financially. Seek knowledge about personal finance and investments. Knowledge is power, especially when it comes to money. It's important to emphasize that saving doesn't mean living a life of deprivation. It's about finding a balance between enjoying the present and preparing for the future. An American financial advisor once said, "Save a third of what you earn, spend a third, and donate a third." This balanced approach can be a good starting point. Remember, financial security in old age isn't just about having money in the bank. It's about the peace of mind that comes from knowing that you can take care of yourself, that you won't be a burden on your loved ones, and that you have the resources to fully enjoy your golden years. Therefore, no matter what stage of life you're in now, start thinking about your financial future. Every small saving, every prudent financial decision is an investment in your future self. By cultivating healthy financial habits today, you're paving the way for a truly golden old age, full of possibilities and free from unnecessary financial worries. Don't underestimate health. 450 words. We've arrived at our fifth secret, the one I promised could change your life. Don't underestimate health. This is, without a doubt, the most fundamental pillar for a comfortable and satisfying old age. As an old American saying goes, health is wealth. Often when we're young, we tend to take our health for granted. We believe we can abuse our body and mind, thinking there will be time to fix things later. However, the reality is that every choice we make throughout life has a cumulative impact on our future health. Consider the story of two friends, John and Mike. Both were 40 when they decided to take different paths. Regarding their health, John started exercising regularly, adopted a balanced diet, and had annual checkups. Mike, on the other hand, continued with his sedentary lifestyle, eating without much concern and avoiding doctors 20 years later. The difference between them was remarkable. At 60, John was full of energy, actively participating in his grandchildren's lives, and taking trips he had always dreamed of. Mike, unfortunately, faced a series of health problems that severely limited his quality of life and independence. This story shows us that health is not just the absence of diseases, but a state of physical, mental, and emotional well-being that allows us to fully enjoy life, especially in our golden years. So, how can we effectively prioritize our health? Here are some fundamental strategies. Adopt a balanced diet. Prioritize natural, nutrient-rich foods. Remember the saying, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food." Exercise regularly. Find physical activities you enjoy and make them part of your routine. It could be walking, swimming, tai chi, or dancing. The important thing is to keep moving. Take care of your mental health. Practice relaxation techniques, meditation, or mindfulness. Mental health is as important as physical health. Have regular checkups. Don't wait to feel pain or discomfort to visit a doctor. Preventive exams can detect problems early. Sleep well. Sleep is fundamental for body and mind recovery. Prioritize a good night's sleep, stay hydrated, drink enough water throughout the day. Proper hydration is essential for the body's proper functioning. Avoid addictions, quit smoking, moderate alcohol consumption, and avoid other harmful substances. Stimulate your brain. Stay mentally active with reading, reasoning games, learning new skills. Remember, every small healthy choice you make today is an investment in your future. As another American saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same applies to health. Not underestimating health means recognizing that it's the most precious asset we have. It's what allows us to enjoy all other aspects of life. Good health in old age is not a matter of luck, but the result of years of conscious choices and healthy habits. Therefore, regardless of your current age, start prioritizing your health today. Every step you take towards a healthier lifestyle is a step towards a happier, more active and independent old age. Remember, you're investing in your future self, and that's the most valuable investment you can make. Don't lose patience with family. 400 words. Our sixth secret for a peaceful and comfortable old age is crucial for emotional well-being. Don't lose patience with family. As we age, family ties can become both a source of great joy and significant stress. The wisdom in navigating these often turbulent waters can make all the difference in our quality of life. An old American saying goes, "Patience is a virtue that carries a lot of weight." This maxim is particularly true when it comes to family relationships in old age. Consider the story of Mrs. Anderson, a 75-year-old lady who always had a strong temperament. As she aged, she became increasingly impatient and critical of her children and grandchildren. The result? Family visits became tense and infrequent, leaving Mrs. Anderson feeling isolated and resentful. On the other hand, we have the example of Mr. Wilson, who at 80 is known for his calm and understanding. Even when his family members make mistakes or have opinions different from his, he responds with patience and love. As a result, his home is a joyful meeting point for the whole family, filling his life with affection and companionship. So how can we cultivate this precious patience with our family? Here are some strategies. Practice active listening. Often, conflicts arise from misunderstandings. Try to really listen to what your family members are saying without interrupting or judging. Take a deep breath before reacting. When you feel you're losing patience, stop, take a deep breath, and count to 10 before responding. Practice empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Remember that each generation faces unique challenges. Communicate with clarity and affection. Express your feelings and needs in a calm and loving way, avoiding accusations. Accept differences. Not everyone in the family will think or act like you. Accepting these differences can bring peace. Preserve your moments of solitude. Sometimes we need time alone to recharge our energies. Don't feel guilty about this. Practice forgiveness. Holding grudges only harms ourselves. Learning to forgive is a gift we give to ourselves. Remember, patience with family doesn't mean being a doormat where everyone steps. It's about finding a balance between establishing healthy boundaries and maintaining mutual love and respect. Family, with all its challenges, can be our greatest source of support and joy in old age. Cultivating patience allows us to fully enjoy these precious bonds, creating happy memories and an environment of love and understanding that will enrich our golden years. Don't worry excessively about your descendants. 400 words. Our seventh secret for a peaceful old age may seem counterintuitive at first glance, but it's essential. Don't worry excessively about your descendants. This advice, based on ancient wisdom, recognizes that although love for our children and grandchildren is deep and enduring, excessive worry can be harmful to both us and them. An American proverb says, "If you want your children to have their feet on the ground, put some responsibilities on their shoulders." This wisdom reminds us that part of loving our descendants is allowing them to grow, learn, and even make their own mistakes. Consider the story of Mrs. Thompson, a 70-year-old grandmother who lived in constant anxiety about her grandchildren's well-being. She interfered in all her children's decisions about raising the kids, offered unsolicited advice, and worried incessantly. The result? Family tension, stress for Mrs. Thompson, and children who felt suffocated and incompetent. On the other hand, we have Mr. Davis, a 75-year-old grandfather who adopted a more relaxed approach. He was always available to offer love and support, but understood that his children and grandchildren needed to forge their own paths. As a result, he enjoyed harmonious relationships and was seen as a source of wisdom and comfort, not anxiety. How can we find this delicate balance? Here are some strategies. Trust the process. Remember that you raised your children to be capable adults. Trust that they can handle their own challenges. Offer support, not control. Be available to help when asked, but avoid imposing your will or opinions. Cultivate your own interests. Having a full and interesting life helps reduce the tendency to worry excessively about others. Practice loving detachment. Love unconditionally, but understand that you can't control the choices or destiny of your descendants. Communicate openly. If you have legitimate concerns, express them calmly and respectfully, without judging or criticizing. Appreciate the present. Instead of worrying about the future, focus on enjoying the moments you have with your family. Now, take care of yourself. Remember that the best way to help your family is by staying healthy and happy. Remember, not worrying excessively doesn't mean not caring. On the contrary, it's a wiser and more mature form of love that recognizes the autonomy and growth potential of our loved ones. By adopting this attitude, you not only reduce your own stress and anxiety, but also create an environment where your descendants can flourish with confidence. You become a safe harbor, a beacon of wisdom and love, rather than a source of pressure or guilt. This approach allows you to fully enjoy your role as a parent, grandparent, or great-grandparent without carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. After all, your golden years should be a time of peace and joy, not constant worry. Don't excessively prioritize relatives, 400 words. Our eighth and final secret for a peaceful and satisfying old age may surprise many. Don't excessively prioritize relatives. This advice, although it may seem contradictory at first glance, is deeply rooted in ancient wisdom and understanding of the complexities of human relationships. An American saying goes, "A good friend is a relative you choose for yourself." This wisdom reminds us that, although blood ties are important, they are not the only significant relationships in our lives. Consider the story of Mrs. Baker, a 78-year-old lady who dedicated her entire life exclusively to her family. She prioritized her relatives above everything else, neglecting friendships and personal interests. Over time, she found herself emotionally dependent on her family, feeling lonely when they couldn't be present and unable to find satisfaction in other areas of life. On the other hand, we have Mr. Foster, 80 years old, who cultivated a diverse circle of relationships throughout his life. He deeply loves his family, but also maintains close friendships, participates in community groups, and has hobbies that he's passionate about. As a result, his life is rich and full, with multiple sources of support and joy. How can we find this healthy balance? Here are some strategies. Cultivate genuine friendships. Invest time and energy in relationships outside the family circle. Friendships can offer fresh perspectives and valuable emotional support. Explore your interests. Participate in activities and groups that align with your passions. This can lead to meaningful connections with people who share your interests. Maintain your independence. Don't rely exclusively on your family for emotional or social satisfaction. Cultivating your autonomy is crucial for well-being. Practice balance. Love and value your family, but not at the cost of other relationships or your personal growth. Be open to new connections. Don't close the doors to new relationships. Even at an advanced age, new friendships can bring unexpected joy to your life. Respect boundaries. Understand that your relatives, especially adult children, have their own lives and responsibilities. Respect their space and time. Contribute to your community. Getting involved in community activities or volunteering can provide a sense of purpose and connection beyond family ties. Remember, excessively prioritizing relatives doesn't mean loving them less. It's about creating a rich and multifaceted life that doesn't depend exclusively on one type of relationship. By adopting this balanced approach, you not only enrich your own life, but also alleviate pressure on your family members. You become a more interesting and independent person, capable of offering more to your family precisely because you don't depend exclusively on them. This philosophy allows you to fully appreciate family ties while enjoying the richness that other types of relationships and experiences can bring. After all, a well-lived life is a balanced life, full of diverse sources of love, support, and meaning. Conclusion, 350 words. Dear viewers, we've reached the end of our journey through the 8 secrets to a long and peaceful life. These teachings, rooted in ancient wisdom and proven by the experience of countless generations, have the power to profoundly transform the quality of our golden years. Let's briefly recall these precious secrets. Don't be excessively kind. Don't be excessively optimistic. Don't worry too much about socialization. Don't neglect saving money. Don't underestimate health. Don't lose patience with family. Don't worry excessively about your descendants. Don't excessively prioritize relatives. Each of these points invites us to deeply reflect on our attitudes and behaviors. They remind us that true wisdom often resides in balance and moderation. By integrating these teachings into our lives, we are paving the way for an old age that is not only long, but truly satisfying. An old age where we can enjoy good health, harmonious relationships, financial security, and peace of mind. Remember, it's never too late to start implementing these changes. As an old saying goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same applies to cultivating habits for a happy and healthy old age. I invite you to reflect on each of these 8 points. Which ones resonate most strongly with you? Where do you see opportunities for growth and change in your own life? And now I'd like to hear from you. What experiences have you had that align with these teachings? What other secrets for a long and happy life would you like to share? Leave your comments below, share this video with those you care about, and let's continue this important conversation about aging with grace and wisdom. Remember, the journey to a fulfilling old age starts today, regardless of your current age. By embracing these secrets and adapting them to your own life, you're setting the foundation for golden years that are truly golden, filled with joy, purpose, and deep satisfaction. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. Until next time, may your days be long, your heart be light, and your wisdom ever growing.